Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Jim coming back at you with another video, and I hope everybody is doing well. Today was the big day, the annual event that a lot of people can't wait for, and that is the third Saturday of every April, which is Record Store Day. So I hope everybody had a wonderful Record Store Day, first of all, and got most of what you wanted. You know, there's I guess the purpose of this video is a couple things. I want to show you what I got because I'm really happy. I think it turned out great. And then also just to talk a little bit about Record Store Day itself and just kind of give you my opinion of the event and, you know, some of the controversy, I guess you could say, that is surrounding the day, Record Store Day. So I'm going to try not to drag this on too long, but do want to kind of just share a couple things with you regarding Record Store Day. Well, first of all, you know, it really is meant to be a fun day, so, you know, some of the negativity that goes around regarding Record Store Day, while I understand it, and it does make perfect sense, the pros and cons of the entire event, I think if you go in with the right approach, you have a game plan, you're actually buying to keep the records, which I know the people who watch this video, of course, will be the ones that do that. Because we're all part of a community that loves and appreciates vinyl, but there are many that do attempt to spoil the day by, you know, buying up records and selling them on the secondary markets for very, very inflated prices. So, unfortunately, it does tamper the day a little bit, and I've had some mixed feelings about the event and how it could be better. You know, maybe doing some sort of, you know, a pre-sale wish list and trying to fill orders that way. You know, there is no perfect system, and that goes for life in itself. There's just really sometimes no perfect way to do things. But what it does do is it gets people to go to the record store, the independent record stores, who sometimes would only go that particular day, and get re-familiar with how much fun it is to be in a record store. And that's the whole purpose of the event for me, is to not that it's the only day. I mean, every day is Record Store Day for many of us, including me. But to get into a store and actually have the anticipation and the fun, and, you know, meeting people and talking about music and talking about our passion, which is collecting vinyl records. You know, that's the important part. So hopefully, as we move forward, we'll continue to make improvements. Your own store probably does things different than my store. And, you know, again, there is no perfect system. The other con, I guess, you know, to get these out of the way, is the inflated prices. You know, sometimes a 7-inch single can go for $12, $13, and, you know, onward and upward. So the prices are high. There's no doubt about it. They're higher than many people are willing to pay. And I would say to those people, just enjoy digging where you dig. You know, just don't bother with Record Store Day, because you're not going to find dollar records in Record Store Day unless you are happy to dig through the dollar bins, and that can happen any day, so Record Store Day probably isn't for you. So, you know, focusing on the positive, though, it is a fantastic event, and I did meet a lot of people and had a lot of fun, and I always do. And, you know, I get all that anticipation, you know, making a list and planning it out and what store to go to. And I live in a town where I have many choices, actually, of where I can go. And I did things a little bit different this year, and I'm going to just stop my commentary on Record Store Day and just tell you about my day, and then get in right to what I ended up buying. I got up very early this morning. I got up at 3:30 in the morning, and had a quick cup of coffee, and got dressed and decided, okay, you know, let's not, you're up, you might as well just go get in line. And really, up until that point, I did not know where I was going, because I'm fortunate where I have about 4 or 5 choices where I could have gone. But I decided to take a little bit different approach this year, and I went into the local store in Round Rock, Texas, rather than going into Austin, Texas, to the bigger stores. And the reason behind it is because the local store, which is called Piranha Records in Round Rock, Texas, had created a Facebook page, and I joined the Facebook group for Record Store Day for that particular store, and they posted everything, well, not everything, but they posted many, many things that they would have in stock. And the owner of that shop really stepped up his game this year. His first name is John, And while I don't know him well, you know, I really have to give him a tip of my hat to get in the inventory that he got. It's a major commitment. I reckon he must have spent, you know, $30,000 to $40,000 to bring in all the inventory that he did. And he had multiple copies of the things I was looking for, most everything. So I said, you know, it's 3 miles from my house. I can get there earlier than I can get to Austin, so let's give it a go. Let's do something different. Let's see what it's like. So I had a really good experience at Piranha Records in Round Rock, so I probably shouldn't say that because now I'm going to create a buzz and everybody will go next year, and that's fine. That just means he'll need to buy more and, you know, maybe create a different way to get in line. But the lines were not as long. It was about, by the time opening came at 10 o'clock, I got there about 4:30. You know, so I did have about a 5.5 hour wait, which is a long time, and I ended up being second in line. There was somebody who was there before me, believe it or not, and he had been an all-nighter, one of those guys that brought his apparatus to sleep in and the whole bit. But I was second in line, so I really did have choice of just about everything I wanted at that first stop. But again, kudos to the owner of Piranha Records for bringing in the inventory this year so local people can shop local. So I'll leave it at that for now so I can start showing some records. I'm 6 minutes into this and I haven't shown a record yet, but I'm going to show you what I got at Piranha Records. And I got 2 7-inch singles, I got 2 10-inch singles, and I got a pretty decent sized stack of either LPs or 12-inch EPs or 12-inch singles. So I'm just going to get right to it. And I knew that there was going to be just a few items that if I didn't get to a store, wherever I decided to go real early, that would be the only chance of getting them. And I'll just start off with one of them items because it's always high demand, and he always creates a buzz every time he does something. And I know from history that if you're not in a store very early, you may as well forget it. So I really wanted this item because I'm a collector of all of his singles. I just got a box set coming in for a live 6 LP box set that was just shipped to me. Should have it next week sometime. And I have about 20 of his 7-inch singles. And this is Ryan Adams' Come Pick Me Up. So really, really happy that I was able to get a copy. And as you can see, it is one of those items that is priced a little high for a 7-inch single. But to me, it's worth it, and that's all that matters. And I'm just thrilled to have it. So the new 7-inch from Ryan Adams. Ryan Adams is a singer-songwriter. And he's just one of my very favorite artists around right now. So it's got 3 songs on it. Obviously, Come Pick Me Up is on the A side, and then the B side is When the Rope, and I guess it is just one song. Sorry, When the Rope Gets Tight. So just so happy to have a Ryan Adams single from Record Store Day again. And at some point, I will be doing an entire collections video of Ryan Adams, and I have a lot to show you. So once I get that box set and a couple other miscellaneous things I'm missing, I look forward to showing you guys the box set, or the entire collection. The other 7-inch single, I'm not big on 7-inch singles, first of all. I don't buy a lot of them. I only have a few hundred of them in my collection, and compared to what else I collect, it's not a lot. But I did pick up this one because I thought it was interesting, and not because it was fancy or anything, but I like these. The Record Store Days has this thing where they do these side-by-side singles. This one happens to be on Parlophone. I think a couple other labels may participate. And then they take a current artist or semi-current artist, and the same singer sings the song, or 2 different artists sing the same song. And in this case, it is a song called Dark Globe, and it's performed from 1970 by Syd Barrett of Pink Floyd fame, and also done in 1989 by R.E.M. So this one interested me because usually it's a very contemporary artist that is singing versus somebody who is very well established, some older artist, something like that. I'm a fan of both of these artists. I'm a fan of the Syd era Pink Floyd, and a big fan of R.E.M. So I wanted to give this a try. I do not know the song Dark Globe, but it intrigued me, and it just so happens that it's on purple vinyl. So picked that up, and that one wasn't quite as expensive. So that's neat. Okay, but that's it on 7-inch. That's all I picked up throughout the entire day. I did pick up also at Piranha 2 10-inch singles, and one of them is really cool and unique, and I guess I'll start with that because I think this is another one of those, if you didn't get in line really fast, it would have been pretty well impossible to pick this up, and that is the heart-shaped Father John Misty single, I Love You Honeybee, which is an acoustic version of the track from his new LP, I Love You Honey Bear. And it is a really, really fabulous album. It's one of my, if not my favorite album of the year. I think I've bought 5 copies and I've given them all but 2 away. I'm not giving my special edition, you know, with the pop-up book and the multicolored vinyl. That one I keep. But I have given the black copy away to, well, you guys know who you are. But and I'm happy to do those types of things from time to time when I really love something, because it is a special, special album to me, and it's so far at this point in 2015 my album of the year. So this was a must-have for me. Love the album, I love the artist, and on the B-side is a song called I've Never Been a Woman, which obviously he hasn't. So I have played this already, and it's really good. Both sides are good, so it's nice to hear the acoustic version. And I just love the heart shape. You know, just a little bit something special for Record Store Days, so that's neat. The other one is less special, but it's one of my very favorite bands, especially for those guys, those people who follow me on Facebook know that I'm a big, big fan of this band, and wanted this single real bad. It was actually one of the top wants I wanted, even though I knew that these would be around. It was high on my list of must-haves, and that is the Young the Giant 10-inch single for Mirror Ball. And this is a non-album track from their most recent album, Mind Over Matter, that came out in 2014. And I just love the cover. It's got that hologram, rainbow effect, metallic look to it, and it's really, really cool. I hope the lighting in this room will do that justice. And then the B-side is a tour version, acoustic version, I guess, more of their title track from their album, Mind Over Matter. So just black vinyl on that one. I know, Richie, you were disappointed that you thought it would be clear vinyl, but I always thought it would be black vinyl on this one. I'm not sure where you read it was going to be clear vinyl, but it makes no difference to me. So, Young the Giant. I'm very happy with that. Okay, so as I said, you know, if you don't get to a store early, there are certain things that you just know you're not going to get. And this top one I'm going to show you when we come to the 12-inch stuff now is probably the #1 item on the list. And you can probably imagine what it's going to be. If you guys know my taste, and that is pretty rare. This is going to be probably one of those highly flipped albums, and I can assure you that you will not be seeing my copy on eBay or any other site for that matter, because I'm really, really happy to have it. And James Lack, my good friend Rockboy680, you know, this was my #1 album. This is what I wanted the most from this particular Record Store Day, and I'm so happy I got a copy of the White Stripes. Oh my gosh, I'm just having a brain fart from doing all these videos. Get Behind Me, Satan. And it's just such a really cool 3D lenticular. I'm not sure of the terminology here. Hopefully the camera will pick up some of this action that it's doing. Both Jack and his partner there from the White Stripes kind of change form, and the cover is spectacular. This is the single most expensive item that I bought this Record Store Day, but it's well worth it. Get Behind Me, Satan, the wonderful album that was never, I don't think this was ever released on vinyl before today, and I'm not even quite sure what year this was originally out. It's not a new release by any means. You guys know White Stripes are no longer, but Jack White is very, very active. I'll show you the gatefold because I know a lot of people probably wanted this really bad and didn't get a copy. It's a 2-disc full album, a 2 LP set. One is on a solid red vinyl and the other one's on a solid white vinyl. And of course, you know, that's kind of their trademark colors, black, white, and red. But it's got that same really, really nice paper feel that his last album had, and I believe Blunderbuss had as well. It's just a really, almost feels slick. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a really interesting paper that Third Man Records has been using for their vinyl releases. It's got a very cool texture to it. Hard to describe what it is, but it feels soft and I don't know what the word is, but it's a matte finish, but it feels completely different than anything else I've ever seen from a vinyl record. So again, red vinyl, white vinyl. I'm not going to take the time to show you that because it is just solid colors, but I'm so happy to have it, and just can't be grateful enough that I was able to get out of bed early enough, because there was many people at the store that were asking for this, and the other stores that I went to through later in the day, that we'll get to in a minute, that obviously were very disappointed that they couldn't get this. It's an unfortunate way that they make some things so limited, especially when it's in such high demand, but hey, that's record store day for you, and sometimes you just can't get everything, but I was lucky this time. So, White Stripes. Another high item on my list, and really, quite frankly, if I had gotten what I've shown you so far and the next item, I would have walked away happy, and that was all I really needed. But this was an important record for me, and I'm so happy that I got this. I have an original copy of this, and Tim Guthrie, you know that because you're always giving me crap about having an original copy of this album. But I did want the 2015 Record Store Day one really, really bad because I want to preserve my original UK copy. This was the first time this album's ever been released in the US. I paid a pretty big price tag for the UK copy, and now they've got a Record Store Day copy of Goldfrapp, their debut album, Felt Mountain, which is absolutely glorious. I'm thinking of Two Turtle, when I'm showing this, because I know too you are, Tudor, you're a fan of Goldfrapp, among other people, but you just sprung into my head real quick, so I'll shout out to you. This is pressed on white vinyl. It's a nice replica of the original. Paper quality is not as good. You know, it's not a perfect replica. You know, I did pull out my original to compare, and while it's not perfect, they did a nice job of recreating the artwork. And it is pressed on white vinyl. It's solid white, so I'm not going to take it out of the sleeve. I'm just going to show you the more interesting colors. This is there's only 4,000 of these. I got copy number 3091 on this one, and so happy to have it. So now I can preserve my original copy and enjoy Record Store Day 1 and play it until I cannot play it anymore because it is a glorious album. Some of these others that I picked up at Encore this morning, I'm just going to breeze through because, you know, they weren't necessarily on my list. They weren't must-haves, but I was there and I was having fun, and you know how all that energy and excitement pops into your head. So I did pick up some things that I said, well, it wasn't on my list, but oh, what the hell. One of them is the 12-inch for Vampire Weekend. Step, I believe this is not a new song, but I think this is a single from their last full album, which came out a year ago or so. XL Recordings. This is also pressed on white vinyl, so a nice 12-inch from Vampire Weekend. Got that. This was kind of on the list, kind of like, let me check the price, and it wasn't too awful. And I'm a fan. I've got a couple other of their LPs. This is The Best of Ride, one of those kind of late 80s, early 90s bands that their vinyl is pretty scarce, hard to come by, unless it's on a reissue, and this is, of course, a reissue pressed on red vinyl, 2 LP set. This is a nice clear red vinyl from Rhino Records, and Rhino always does a very good job with represses, so I wanted to give that a go. And I'm a fan of this band, so that wasn't, while it wasn't a must-have, it sure is a nice to have. You know, and one of the other things I've always tried to do when it comes to Record Store Day is take chances, get something, you know, one or two things that you just really either don't know anything about, or you've heard word of mouth, or somebody else is excited about it. And this is one of those that I really don't know much about this band. I know that they didn't last very long. It's an old album. I think it's from 1967. And you know, it's so well done though, and this is what I want to show you. This is a band called Tomorrow, and this is a repress of a debut, I believe a debut album, maybe their only album. It's done on mono, which is interesting, and it's got, you know, one of the old-fashioned fold-over flap deals like they used to do in the 60s and 50s and probably maybe even through some of the 70s. But I have come to find out that Steve Howe from Yes, who I'm a big fan of, this is one of the early bands he was in, so that was cool. I didn't know that, really, honestly, when I bought it. But I just wanted to take a chance on something, and I had watched a video from... what is it? Bull Moose Records. It's an hour and 45-minute talk about Record Store Day and what the release is, what to look for, and he goes through pretty much everything that's going to be available as best he can, and it was well worth it because I ended up really liking this. And the vinyl cover is just really, really nice. Just got this starburst pattern into it, just tons of color, and it's the label again is that throwback gold Parlophone label from the, you all know from the Beatles, so just really, really happy with that. So I wanted to have fun and show you tomorrow. I haven't played this yet, so I can't comment on the music, but I have a feeling, it's going to be psychedelic. It's going to be late 60s sound. It's going to be Steve Howe, maybe a little bit of early Yes, you might hear in that. And I'm really excited about it. So this was sold out later on in the day. I noticed when I went to another store, so maybe I was smart to pick this up. Who knows? But I'm happy to have it. All right, a couple other things I'll just go through really quick, and then I'll wrap up the morning. Temples is I'm a big fan of Temples. You guys know that who follow me on Facebook. I've got just about everything they've done. 12 inches, remixes, 7-inch singles, 10-inch singles, you name it. I've been lucky to get it all, and this was a must-have. It doesn't look like this was in high demand. They have quite a few copies of this, so if you like the band Temples, this is pressed on red vinyl. This is a live EP. It's got only actually 2 songs, but they're very long. This is kind of a jam psych band, and I love them. Just absolutely love them. One of my favorite new bands out right now is Temples, so well worth picking this up, and it just is called Temples. I don't think it has any other name on it. Mesmerize is the title track here. On the first side, and you can see there it's 9 minutes, so great live version of that song. Fan of the band Midlake, got their albums. I think there's 3 of them, and I wanted to pick up the live EP. It comes with a DVD. It's really well done. This is just black vinyl, but it comes with a slot on the inside of the first gatefold here, and really nice. I think it's 6 tracks on a vinyl record, and then you get the full concert on a DVD. So this is live in Denton, Texas, their hometown, and not that far from me, about 3 hours north of where I live. And then finally, I wanted to save this one for last because, I'm a big fan of this guy. I'm going to give a shout out to Adam Nichols. I know you're a big fan of this guy, and I was really hopeful to get this one too, and it was the last item on my want list, my must-have list for this record store day. And this is the official vinyl release of the legendary Lost Brian Eno album called, what is this called? My Squelched Life. Again, it's just a black vinyl pressing, gatefold, 2 LP set, and just wonderful. For the sake of time, I won't open every record because I'm gonna run. I'm already 23 minutes in here. You guys are gonna kill me. But so happy to have it. Big Brian Eno collector and big Brian Eno fan. So don't know much about this. Apparently, it's a legendary. It says legendary Lost Eno album. It includes previously unheard track Rapid Eye. So can't wait to hear it. Compare it to some of his other stuff. So nice little picture. I hope the camera will pick it up of Eno here. Looks like a more recent photo of him. So that wraps up the morning, and really, had I not wanted to go anywhere else, I was up so early. I came home, decompressed for a while, had more coffee, FaceTimed with a friend, and just relaxed for a bit. And then I said, that was so much fun. I feel a little incomplete. I didn't really. Was so focused on my list, I didn't get to look at the other things as much as I would have wanted to. And there was one other item I really wanted that store didn't have. They didn't order any. And Tim, you know what it is, and that persuaded me to go out again, and this time I did go into Austin, and I went into a couple stores. They're very close together there, and decided to give them a browse, and one thing leads to another. I really just went for one thing, and I came home with another stack of things, so I'm just going to go through them pretty fast. But what I really went for here is this album, is The Autumn Defense. This is a side project from the band Wilco, and this is their first, I believe, album. It is self-titled. I think that must be their first. I haven't opened it yet, but it is. I know it's just black vinyl, 2 LP set, and I have 2 of their other full-length albums, and I just love them, even maybe more so than Wilco, and I know that's saying a lot, and I'm a big Wilco fan. But I really wanted this one. Tim, I was texting you this morning, please look for it. My store didn't order any, and I, don't know how in demand they're going to be, so I'm so happy I got one. So, woohoo! Autumn Defense. I'm so happy for that. And then you guys are going to kill me, you're going to laugh. You guys know I really wanted the Goldfrapp album, as I just said. But I wasn't particularly happy with my number because I got up so early. And I thought, well, don't be silly, it's just a number. Yeah, there's 4,000 of them. You got you know, close to the end of the line. It's like 3,900 and something. And I thought, well, if I find a crazy low number, maybe. Well, lo and behold, I did. So I got another copy of Goldfrapp. This one I plan on keeping sealed, but when I say low number, you guys are going to die. I got number 7. 0007 of 4,000 later on in the afternoon at Encore Records in Austin. Can you believe it? So I just I could not do it. I know it's insane. You know, you bought 2 of the same album the same day at different stores, and you've already got an original, but number 7, and it's one of my very favorite bands. I had to do it. So what can I say? Shoot me. I've got a disease. I'm sick in the head. You know, what can I say? All right, quickly I'll go through the rest of the stuff. Nothing too terribly exciting here. Cloud Nothing's another cool band that I discovered last year. This is a remix album that they came out with. I cannot read the title of it. Black vinyl. Cloud Nothing's. I think it'll be good. I'm a fan of both of their other albums. Earlier when I said I wanted to take chances, and I always want to take chances and try to discover new music, as I've said in previous videos, it's a real passion of mine to keep current and you know, keep growing musically. I know, Tim, I keep mentioning your name because you and I talked so much throughout the day that you really wanted these, and you ended up getting them. And you were so disappointed when you thought you weren't going to get them. I was like, you know, maybe this is a cool one to check out. I know nothing about it. I was reading the description on the hype sticker. It sounded really cool. It's a multi-instrumentalist. It sounds like he's Japanese. Shugo Takamuro. So I ended up getting both of these albums, and they're both on very, very cool colors. I'll just show you one because they are similar. This one's kind of a white-gray marble, and this one is really pretty. That album there is called LST, and this one is called Night, where is it here? Night Peace. And I was, again, reading the hype sticker, remembering what Tim and I were talking about throughout the day, and how excited he was when he actually got a copy of each of these. So I'm like, you know, talk about taking chances, take a real chance on somebody you have no idea. But look at that thing. It's just beautiful. It's like marbled burgundy with black and white and gray and silver, and it's just the label. It's the whole thing is just done so well. So that was just a bonus. You know, it says on here that it's limited to 1,000 copies, red vinyl. That's all it says, red vinyl. But it's much better than I expected when I opened it up and took a look at it when I got home. So I'm really excited to give that a spin and see what I think of them. You know, for some reason I absolutely hate it. You know, I can trade somebody for something else, but knowing me, I'll like it. You know, I'm pretty easy to please when it comes to new music and things I'm not aware of. So, Tim, thanks for the heads up on these, and I'm so glad you got yours. We're down to this home stretch here. I did pick up a copy on yellow vinyl of Happy Mondays. This is a 25th anniversary of a really cool album that I have on CD. Pills, Thrills, and Bellyaches from 1990, so that was that awkward time on vinyl again where it was, you know, there may have been a vinyl release at the time, but there was probably very, very few, and they're, you know, extremely expensive, so just a real nice lemony yellow color on this one. It's from Happy Mondays. I'm a fan of the band Grizzly Bear, so I wanted to pick up this. I didn't, you know, I got my list, I said, okay, enough is enough, let's just stop. But then later on the day, when I go back, I'm like, well, you know, you really do like Grizzly Bear. You've got everything else I've ever done. You know, you hate to miss out on stuff. And sure enough, I picked it up. This is a nice splatter. I'm going to show you this one real quick. I know I'm really going long on this video, and I apologize, but this is maybe the prettiest vinyl that I bought all day. Not my favorite band, but I do like them, and I've got all the others, but, you know, again, I knew it said it was a splatter vinyl, but look at this. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I was just so tickled with it, you know, just so thrilled at the look of this thing. So I hope the music is equally good. I have some, I think 3 other Grizzly Bear albums, but yeah, I can't remember the last time I played them, so, you know, I was feeling a little bit of guilt, like, you spent a lot of money today, maybe you didn't really need that, but then you open it up and you see the splatter vinyl, and it's like, wow, okay, you made the right choice after all, because that is really, really nice and cool, so I'll just do that later. Okay, guys, what do I got? Two more things. I'll show you this one because, again, this will be one that maybe creates controversy. It's like, oh, I can't believe you about that. But, hey, for me, I'm a fan, and I kind of collect everything they do, so I did pick up the Record Store Day copy this afternoon of U2's Songs of Innocence. Obviously, it's a different cover than the other one. This is black vinyl. The other one I have is white vinyl, the more traditional one that many of you have. And the nice thing about this is the side D has some different tracks on it. The entire side is different than the you know, if you want to pause the camera, pause your video and take a look at the track listing on side D is completely different than the LP. So I thought, it's a little expensive, but being a U2 completist, I've got all their other studio albums. I thought, why not? It's Record Store Day. And then lastly, I'm going to give a nod and a shout out to my friend Richie. Richie, you talked me into this one. I know nothing about the band. Taking a chance again. You say I may not like it, but I'm going to surprise you and tell you that I did pick up Surfer Blood. I don't know. It was the last stop of the day. I was running out of things to buy, and I know how excited you were. This was your number 1 and number 2 pick, so I was like, if it's that good, it's that hyped up from Richie, a very good friend of mine, I thought, why not? So, Surfer Blood, I'll show it in the VC, the color. It's kind of a bluish gray splatter. It's cool, marble. So that's it, guys. And again, I apologize for the video being long, but I did have quite a lot to show you and share with you, and I had a lot of fun today. And I hope your Record Store Day experience was as good as mine. You know, I hope in the future years, Black Friday, and then next year's Record Store Day, I hear more positivity. And this is, again, you know, maybe a little bit more commentary than you want, and you can stop the video if you want, but, you know, I did hear a lot of negativity today. A lot of people posting things on Facebook. It's like, you know, boycott Record Store Day, it's not my thing. You know, for me, it's fine. But I would just say, let's not try to spoil it for the others who are having a great time out there and enjoying the event and want to get behind it and support their independent local record stores on Record Store Day. So that's what I have to say, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back next week with maybe more of a usual update of some sort, or a collections video, or something else, who knows. But happy Record Store Day 2015, everybody, and I hope you had a great day, and we will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and like the video, and leave me your comments about what either the records you saw today, something I may have missed, or something you picked up that you're real excited about. I'd love to hear about those things. Take care, everyone, and have a great week ahead. Bye now.